All right, welcome everybody to the December 13th, 2023 City of Mesa Planning and Zoning Public Hearing. We'll begin, and I want us to actually start by apologizing for the sweaters, but we're trying to have some fun and had an ugly sweater contest today, especially me. I apologize for myself. So we'll begin with a roll call. So Chair Ayers is here, Vice Chair Pitcher.
Here.
Board Member Crockett.
Here.
Board Member Peterson.
Here.
Board Member Montez.
Here.
Board Member Blakeman.
Here.
And Board Member Carpenter.
Here.
All right, we're all here. So as part of the agenda for today, we have a consent agenda. All of these items will be read into the record and acted on in one motion. These will not be discussed individually. Before that, I'm pretty sure I'll just ask one more time. We don't have any comment cards as of right now, correct? So everything's on there. Okay, great. And thankfully, Board Member Peterson has offered to read the consent agenda for us today.
All right. For the consent agenda for the December 13th, 2023 Planning and Zoning Board public hearing, the items are item 2A, minutes from November 15, 2023 Planning and Zoning meeting. Item 3A, ZON 22-01159, Kids Incorporated, District 6, within the 9300 block of East Cadence Parkway, located east of Ellsworth Road and south of Ray Road. Major site plan modification. This request will allow for a daycare facility. Recommendation is to be continued to the January 10, 2023 Planning and Zoning Board meeting. Item 3B, ZON 23-00600, My Place Hotel Mountain Vista, District 5, within the 1500 block of South Signal Beat Road, located south of the US 60 Superstition Freeway on the west side of Signal Beat Road. Site plan review. This request will allow for a hotel. Recommendation is approval with conditions. Item 4A, amendments to the Mesa Historic Preservation Design Guidelines that include but are not limited to certificates of appropriateness, historic districts and landmarks, historic building types and architectural styles, guidelines for preservation, restoration and rehabilitation, and guidelines for additions and new construction. The amendments have been updated to incorporate the Historic Preservation Board's and the Stake Historic Preservation Office's recommended modifications. Staff recommendation is continued to a date uncertain. Item 4B, ZON 22-00054, Agritainment District at Pioneer Crossing, District 1. Within the 3600 to 3800 blocks of East Thomas Road, within the 3400 to 3600 blocks of North Val Vista Drive, located south of Thomas Road on the east and west sides of Val Vista Drive. Rezone 13.8 acres from single residence 6 with a planned area development overlay to multiple residence 2 with a planned area development overlay. This request will correct the ordinance map for ordinance number 5683. Rezone 2.91 acres from mixed use with a planned area development overlay to mixed use with a planned area development overlay and site plan review. Rezone 1 acre from mixed use with a planned area development overlay to single residence 6 with a planned area development overlay. This request will modify the Pioneer Crossing planned area development and allow for the development of a commercial development. Recommendation is approval with conditions. And add to that condition 3, which is portable storage containers are permitted in accordance with MZO section 11-30-16. We good with that? Okay. Item 4C, ZON 23-00478, 88 Southern Townhomes, District 5, within the 8800 to 9000 blocks of East Southern Avenue and within the 1100 block of South 88th Street, located west of Ellsworth Road on the north side of Southern Avenue. Rezoned from agriculture to multiple residence 2 with a planned area development overlay and site plan review. This request will allow for multiple residence development. Staff recommendation approval with conditions. Item 5A, amending section 11-31-34A1 of the Mesa zoning ordinance pertaining to spacing requirements for medical marijuana dispensaries and dual licensee facilities. Staff recommendation is adoption. Item 5B, Amendments to chapters 23, 44, 66, 74, and 87 of Title 11 zoning ordinance of the Mesa City Code relating to historic preservation. The amendments include, but are not limited to, repealing in its entirety Chapter 23, Historic and Landmark Overlay Districts, and replacing it with a new Chapter 23, Historic Preservation Overlay. Repealing in its entirety Chapter 44, Historic Signs, and replacing it with a new Chapter 44, Historic Signs. Modifying Section 11-66-4, Historic Preservation Board. Repealing in its entirety Chapter 74, Historic District and Historic Landmark Procedures, and replacing it with a new Chapter 74, Historic Preservation Procedures, and adding new definitions. The amendments have been updated to incorporate the Historic Preservation Boards and the Stake Historic Preservation Office's recommendation modifications. Staff recommendation, continue to a date uncertain. Item 6A. Southeast corner, Center Street and Linwood Lane, District 1, within the 2200 block of North Center Street and within the 2200 block of North Pasadena, located north of McKellips Road on the east side of Center Street. Preliminary plat. This request will allow for a preliminary plat of 63 lots to allow for a single residence development. The recommendation is approval with conditions.
Board Member Peterson, would you be able to read in a correction? There was an error on the date for item 3A, that it should be continued to January of 2024.
Okay, January 20.
Of 2024. It read 23.
Oh, yeah. Wow. It's,
Unless we're
see,
going back to the.
doing that again. At least. Correction on item 3A, ZON 22-01159, recommendation continued to the January 10th, 2024 Planning and Zoning Board meeting.
Thank you.
And that concludes the consent agenda.
Thank you very much, Troy. So with that, I would like to request a motion to approve the consent agenda. Is there a motion?
I'll move that we approve the consent agenda as it's been read.
And second.
I second.
All right, all in favor, let's see if technology likes us today. All right, with 7 yeses, that passes. Thank you, everybody. With that, I look over to staff, see if there's anything we need to discuss in the meeting.
Yeah, Chair, Board Members. So
Oh, we have the public. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have 2 items off of the consent agenda. The first one is the zoning case ZON 22-01274. And that's really up to the board if you would like to hear another presentation on that or not. For the general plan amendment, since it requires a second hearing, we will need to do another presentation on that item.
Any questions, anything you guys want to discuss on that one? I'm seeing a lot of head shaking, so no. So I would actually request to have a motion for that one then. Recommendation of approval with the conditions.
On 7A,
7A.
I'll go ahead and make the motion. I move that we approve case ZON 22-01274, SEC Center Street and Linwood Lane, District 1, within the 2200 block of North Center Street, east side, and within the 2200 block of North Pasadena, west side, located north of McKellips Road on the east side of Center Street, rezone 8.4 plus or minus acres from single residence 43 to small lot single residence 3.0 with a planned area development overlay, and 0.2 plus or minus acres from the multiple residence 4 to RSL-3.0-PAD. This request will allow for a single residence development. And is there an amendment on this one or anything that we need to add to this? Okay. The staff recommendation is approval with conditions.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, thank you, Jason. All right. All in favor, we'll vote on that one again. All right, again, unanimously, there's approval for ZON 22-0174. Now Now we're good, right, Rachel?
All right. Yep, Chair, now we have item 7B, and Sean will be making that presentation.
All right, thanks, Sean.
Afternoon, Chair, members of the board. This is KC Win 23-00824. This is a companion case to the item that was just voted on. So this request is a minor general plan amendment to allow for change in the subtype of the neighborhood character area from large lot and rural and manufactured home to traditional. And that is to facilitate the development of a small lot, single-family subdivision. So the location of the subdivision is the east side of Center Street. It's also on the west side of Pasadena, and then north of McKellips Road is shown on the map in front of you. There's existing manufactured home park to the south and east. Lehigh's Forest Park is to the west across Center, and then to the north is a single-family subdivision under construction. So the zoning on the property currently is there's 8.4 acres, single residence 43, and then 0.2 acres zoned multiple residence 4. Both of those zoning designations will be are requested to be changed from to RSL 3.0 with the planned area development overlay, and that's the companion case. And that's to allow for the development of a single-family subdivision. There are two subtypes on the property. 4.9 acres consists of the large lot and rural subtype. That does not support RSL zoning, residential small lot zoning. And single residence is listed as a primary land use, but again, the zoning is not listed as primary or secondary within that subtype. And then 3.7 acres is listed as manufactured home subtype, which does allow for RSL and single residence. But the entire site is requested to be changed to the traditional subtype. So within Chapter 16 of the general plan, we have criteria that council may consider when deciding on a change. And I've listed four of the main points, the main criteria. The first is the degree of impact to the surrounding community, the existing land use patterns in the area, the extent that the benefits outweigh the impacts, and whether the change will result in a loss of land for other uses. So for the first criteria, the degree of impact to the surrounding community, we find that although there will be an increase in density, overall the degree is fairly low, considering that to the south we have RM zoning and high density manufactured home park, and then to the north we have single residence zoning RS9. The next criteria, existing land use patterns in the area. Again, the requested change is consistent with what's already existing to the south, east and north. The extent that the benefits outweigh the impacts, we find that the benefit, which is increased housing stock outweighs a potential impact of noise and density that would result from the change in the subtype. And then lastly, whether the change results in a loss of land for other uses. So this is just a change to the subtype and not the character area. So the character area will remain as neighborhood. It's just a change that facilitates a smaller single-family subdivision. Property owners were notified within 1,000 feet through an updated notice of application that was mailed on October 23rd of this year. Staff has not been contacted directly from interested parties. So overall, we find that the request complies with the amendment criteria in Chapter 16 of the 2040 Mesa General Plan, and our approval is, or our recommendation for you is approval with conditions. Thank you.
Presentation from the applicant at all? We don't need to do that, I'm guessing, right? Okay. Any questions from the board for Sean at all? No? Okay. Then I think we could probably close the,
Chair, you'll need to open up the public hearing.
let's just close that, open up public hearing to see if there's any comments. I don't believe we have any, right? I'm not seeing anybody in the audience. I think we're good. We'll close the public hearing, and I will request a motion from the board to move forward on 7B. Anybody? Thank you.
So I move to approve ZON 23-00842, the southeast corner of Center Street and Linwood Lane within the 2200 block of North Center Street and within the 2200 block of North Pasadena located north of McKellips Road on the east side of Center Street, minor general plan amendment. This request will change the general plan character area designation from neighborhood with a large lot rural subtype and neighborhood with a manufactured home subtype to neighborhood with a traditional subtype. The staff recommendation is adoption.
Thank you very much. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, thank you, everybody. All please vote. Unanimous approval for ZON 23-00842. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate it. Now, I can turn time over to Rachel if there's anything. We're good on the hearing.
Chair, board members, I don't have any other updates, and that concludes our agenda.
All right, who's going to jump on a motion to adjourn us for the public meeting?
I will move that we adjourn our, since my mic's on, that we will adjourn our public meeting.
I second.
Thank you. All in favor? We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate your time.
Rachel, why did Sean Lake Marshall say this?